I was working on getting some thumbnails. Anywho, lighting's good. Yeah. So what's going on with the skin flare, everyone? This last night I did it. It seems to work well. Wash real well. I put on some of the Ordinary just to make sure the rest of my skin is good. I did the Ordinary. It has pink in it. Okay, I did that, and then I did what else? I did the regular medication that's prescribed, and so I'm rotating the Ordinary stuff. So I'm just not doing one thing. So, and in the morning I did Elidel. I did the caffeine treatment around the eyes to help with the puffiness because I have some discoloration that's from a medical condition that causes puffiness and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about a whole lot about it. You probably could guess it. It's a lot of green stuff out here. This is the shirt that I got at the retail place that I work at. I had to get a better bra to like I had to lift the girls up, guys, but anywho, that's too much information. Let me start driving. Got a black short sleeve shirt under here, and I have it turned backwards because of the cleavage from menopause. And man, let's not even get started about that. I did go buy some new bras because it's just out of control. So I got this short sleeve black shirt and I turned it backwards. I do have a shirt that's short sleeve, similar color, and I had turned it backwards. I'm like, well, let me just see what it looks like black. And I have to be honest, it actually looks pretty good because the black kind of is a background and it makes this pop. All right, I'll talk about some toxic job stuff. I still post on LinkedIn, and there are some people that still stay in touch with me. Hang on. Good, because there's a police officer that's pulling out, and I'm like, better to have them in front of me than behind me. So getting back to the toxic job update, all right. In June, it'll be 9 months since I left the toxic job. I got some text messages from some former employees wishing me a happy Mother's Day. A lot of them are the school health personnel, or mainly them. Sometimes I have somebody reach out to me from local school health staff. Also some other people that aren't local school health staff but have reached out. But one reached out to me and said, I don't know what's going on with the nurse consultants, and I'm not going to use any names. If you have not watched this before, I left a toxic K through 12 job. I resigned with no week's notice, and I referred to the immediate supervisor as Dark Triad. Some of the other nurse consultants that were her step and fetches, I call the Goon Squad. And with the exception of one nurse consultant that is not part of the Goon Squad, lovely lady. Anyway, that's a whole thing right there. But I'll get back to the school nurse. Wow, that person sure did not give me a lot of time. She texted me and said, I don't know what's going on with the nurse consultants. Dark Triad retired. One of the goons, now remember, this is me giving the different names, okay? This is not the nurse saying this. Here's a summary. Dark Triad retired. Not long after that, one of the goons resigned not long after that. Another one of the goons is resigning, retiring, whatever, at the end of the month. Another nurse consultant started. I don't know this person, or I don't think I know them. I might know them. Another nurse consultant started, and then they resigned, quit not long after they were hired. Right? It's not as easy as it sounds. And one of the people that I think took over my assignment is one of the people that's not going to be there anymore. It's not as easy as it seems. It really isn't. It's not as easy as it looks. And the fact that someone would start the job and resign not long after they were hired, I'll guess that it was a lot of work, or they didn't get the money they thought that they were going to get. I don't really care which one it is. But anyway, I decided to share that. Yeah. One of the nurses consultants was white. And I've always believed that Dark Triad hand-selected that nurse, who, by the way, I don't have any beef with that nurse. I believe the Dark Triad handpicked that nurse so there wouldn't be any allegations of racial discrimination, because all of the nurse consultants historically have been black. The majority of them were black. There have been other white nurses. Matter of fact, one of the white nurses that took a job with special education, I took her spot. She thought it was going to be a layoff, so she went to special education strategically. Anywho, there hadn't been a white nurse since then. And I believe the Dark Triad may have handpicked that white nurse so there wouldn't be any allegations of racial discrimination, because there had not been a white nurse for a while. And a lot of the white nurses, they either go to public health or find another job in another county. That's what's happened to all of them that worked up under me. All right, they go to special health, or they go to another county where they make money, or they go into another field. Maybe they become a nurse practitioner. That's what's happened thus far. And pretty much the majority of them, they asked me for recommendations, and I endorsed all of them. So anywho, I had already thought, if the white nurses all got together and alleged racial discrimination, they could have possibly had a pretty good lawsuit, because the people that were handpicked, it literally didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Other than Dark Triad handpicked who they wanted. So anyway, you know what? You can't do things to people to push them out of a job that's been a perfectly great employee, and create wahala and chaos. That's what Dark Triad did. Treated me bad, did the retaliatory improvement plan. And a lot of times when you're under pressure, I'm not saying that I did everything perfect, but when you have that amount of pressure, it just encourages your decision making when you're under stress. So that's what Dark Triad took advantage of. And when you're in a no-win situation where, you know the thing you should do, so if you do what you know to do, you get written up. And if you don't do it and do what they, based on what the feedback you're getting, and then you get written up too, it's just a no-win situation. So really what I have to say is, to the nurses. They'll be fine. I miss some of them. I do. I miss the majority of them. Anyway, that's what's going on there. There's not really much else I can say other than my mom said to me, Danielle, move forward, press on. This is your season of joy. This is your season of joy. And that's what I say. This is my season of joy, thriving, bliss, peace. My mom says, you've put in so much to your kids. This is your season of joy. I'm going to go to Walmart real quick. All right. And I'm just going to this way. This is probably a little bit too much TMI here, okay? I think for a long time I was under stress, okay? I was under stress. And I didn't have any, I had like zero desires, okay? Zero, because of stress. That's what happened. You think about people that when they're married and they're stressed and stuff, and then you talk about you get married and then they don't engage in the adult activities. All I'm gonna say is since I left the job and I'm not under stress, for a brief minute, I thought, do my kids need a step pawpaw? And I am like completely happy in my singleness, but I thought about it for a brief minute, but Lazarus has risen. And so I talked to the therapist about it, and it was unexpected. I'll put what I'm talking about up there. And the therapist is like, oh, well, what are you going to do about that? I'm like, cold shower, because I'm kind of set in my ways, and I think I'm kind of quirky, and I'm very introspective, and I like to do like, writing and journaling, and it takes like a lot of internal thought and thinking, and I am a bit of a daydreamer, and I think that that's where my daughter gets a lot of her creativity, because she does filmmaking. So anyway, yeah. There's so many things that I want to do. And a big part of it is you have to be your best self in order to attract the right person. You would want to add to the relationship. And I think my enjoyment of solitude and privacy and space, after I became a widow, I didn't want any other men around my children. I just didn't want any other men around my children. They only had one childhood, and I wasn't gonna risk anything because I didn't make a right choice or choose the right person to be married to or whatever. I didn't want to put them through my potential lack of judgment on what would be a suitable spouse to put my children in harm's way. So therefore, I kept to myself. And then once you keep to yourself for a while, you develop habits. But I'm like, yeah, guys. So I can't really say that I blame them for locking that stuff up because it's just a different time now. So I did get the honey pot. I'm gonna go look and see if I could find some scrubs for my daughter-in-law.
That's actually one movie. That's actually one movie I did watch. From nuanced eyeglasses and Eureka. Those daily contact lenses for astigmatism. I actually have astigmatism, so this kind of hits right up my alley. There you go. Yeah. And the eyeglasses offer an open ear hearing solution for acute hearing loss in Eureka is now ranking as number 2 most popular daily contact lenses in Walmart vision centers. Check out more.
Let me just look around and see if I see them. I remember seeing some scrubs. Hang on, I'll be back shortly. That's not a bad color. Hang on. And not bad. Now I'm gonna go look for like some short sleeve shirts that she could wear. I think I can get a couple of these black shirts. See. Okay. I don't have a lot of white shirts. I don't really wear a lot of white. Now these are super cute. I would not wear these, but these are super cute. I'm just trying to see if I can find one of these in my daughter-in-law's size. I don't think so. These are real super cute. I would actually wear this. Is this a dress? I would actually wear this. It's cute. Super cute. I would put this on with some leggings and just put a tank shirt under there though. It's cute. Would you like to see what I got? I spent around $75. I went ahead and made the credit card payment. So I made a credit card payment of around $100 to go a little bit over because we're not trying to get more credit card debt. I mean, it's cute. Of course, I'm going to put like a tank shirt under there. So I think I can get some leggings. I might even get some white leggings and just wear this over that. Or I already have some black leggings, but I might get some white leggings and go over that. It could be cute for the summer. Although black isn't necessarily the best thing for summer, but this is definitely cute. This is not something I would wear unless I had leggings because, you know, my legs are kind of pale. I don't really expose my legs to the sun a lot. And the next thing I got, well, let me just get the price on everything. The dress was $9. I mean, not bad. The next thing I got was a black shirt for myself. I got it in extra large because of the girls. You could already see how that lays. So what I normally do is I'll turn it backwards. This is pretty see-through. Turn it backwards and put like a necklace on to elongate. So I got that for me. What else did we get? Okay, so this is for my daughter-in-law. This is a black shirt. It is in, I won't say the size, but you know, she has some girls too like me. I got a white shirt for myself. These shirts like this, I showed you the black ones. These ones are $3.98. So, I mean, I know people are boycotting stores. I have not been to Target. They're talking about boycotting Walmart too. It's like get black-owned businesses. But guys, I mean, I support black-owned businesses. But anywho, I got some extra bags there. I got the honey pot for sensitive foam body wash. I use this for the body. And also interesting is you can use it on your face too. So I already have a pump at home, so I'll just fill it up. This is a refill, gynecologist approved, pH balance 3.5 to 4.5, which is super important for women. Minimizes odor, gentle and non-irritating. It says it has lavender, organic apple cider vinegar, and this other flower that I don't know about. So helps support a healthy range. For under the hood, everyone. Okay, so what else did I get? Oh, for my, I think I already showed you the scrubs and everything. So I got a black pair of scrubs for my daughter-in-law. Where is that shirt that I got for her? No, that one's mine. Oh, that's hers. So, you know, I got the black shirt that could go with those scrub pants. I got the scrub pants. Here's the color. And I figure, and here goes the shirts. So actually, how many of these shirts? Got 2 of these different scrub shirts. I'll just show the scrub shirt. How much were the scrub shirts? I think that they were marked down. The tops were $5. I mean, can you believe these are for $5? Scrub Star, $5. Got that for her. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head. Oh, this 18 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna head and go get some gas. Matter of fact, I could go over here to this Kroger and get some gas. I was thinking of this other Kroger. Now I'm just realizing the gas station is right over here. So I will stop and get some gas. That was a nice little shopping excursion. That was nice. I'm going to start heading to the job. I keep having it in my head that I'm teaching a community class, but I am actually teaching a class in the Women's Center, the special care nursery. Looks like some nursing students or something.